This is Cesar Castro. This is a presentation for the Class A EDCI 8308 Mixed Methods Research. So today I'm gonna explain the data collection for a final project that is pretty much based on the STAR matrices. Okay, let me start with the presentation. So what is the problem at Donna SD? So pretty much each academic year, teacher faces a challenging task of covering approximately 40 Texas essential knowledge and skills, or better known as TICS, or standards, comprising 14 readiness and 26 supporting standards. The constrained instructional timeframe often places significant pressures on educators to ensure that students achieve mastery across all the standards. This rapid pace of instruction can be overwhelming for the students, who frequently express concerns about the difficulty of absorbing that diverse range of concepts presented in quick successions. As a result, students find it challenging to fully grasp and retain the materials, leading to gaps in understanding. Now, what is needed to address this problem? What is the need to address this problem? Educators understand the importance of student mastering key concepts, but identifying the most critical standards can help focus teachers' efforts and improve the learning experience, particularly in mathematics. Prioritizing these essential standards would ensure that the students achieve mastery each year, with an emphasis on the quality of learning over quantity. Ultimately, district administrators could use this approach to develop a curriculum that allocates more time during the school year to these crucial standards. Now, why a mixed method designs? The study aims to identify the most critical learning standards on the state of Texas of academic readiness start. On sixth grade, it will employ multiple regression analysis and statistical methods to analyze student scores with a focus on the 14 readiness standards and a total of 15 questions. Multiple regression analysis will provide insights into which of the 14 learning standards are most strongly associated with the total score from 0 to 100, considering all the students collectively. Now, the data collection will be in two different parts. The first one will be the quantitative components. The data to be collected come from a cohort of sixth graders in 2024 who took the STAR exam. This cohort includes scores from 834 students across a single school district, which is Donna ISD, with 9 different teachers involved. The STAR test consisted of 15 questions, aligned with 14 readiness learning standards and 26 supporting standards. The students' test data is already available on the other four school platform that Donna ISD has. Now, the quantitative component also have a set data, and this data will be exported to the SPSS statistical software for analysis. Once it's imported into SPSS, each column will represent a different variables, such as the scores for each learning standards, and they are the independent variables. And then the total score serves as the dependent variable. Each row will correspond to an individual student's data, resulting in a total of 834 rows. A picture of the district summary of each show. Well, this is pretty much a picture of what it looked like once in SPSS. Now, SPSS will be used to run a multiple regression analysis to identify which learning standards are more significant in predicting the total scores, since the data has not been analyzed. So what does this mean? Pretty much the results from SPSS are shown in this little picture, but they are not the actually true scores because we haven't run that report yet. And that's the quantitative data. Now, what about the qualitative component? Okay, so this study employs a sequential mixed method designed to deepen the understandings of the impact of mastering a core learning standards, not only through numerical analysis, but also by capturing students' perspective. Now, in addition to the quantitative study on the STAR data, a qualitative strategy is incorporated into the research design to gather students' perspective on the core components. So it's a quantitative and then sequential qualitative. In this study, a 10-question questionnaire will be administered to students from the 2024 cohorts of sixth grade students. Since the supplemental study will take place during the fall semester of 2024, the students will be in seventh grade at the time of the supplemental study. So a total of 9 students will be interviewed, consisting of 6 females and 3 males, with 1 student randomly selected from each teacher's class. Now, the 10-question questionnaire will be organized into different categories to assess the teacher instruction and quality. So this is the second part, right? the qualitative data. So once we get the qualitative data, right, which is through the surveys, we're going to need to pretty much categorize the responses of the students and then evaluate, right, the instruction's quality and the impact of the instructional qualities. So, for example, question number 1 and 2 evaluate students' understandings of core mathematical concepts. Now, let me emphasize something. We don't know which one is the most critical, or one of the most critical standards. But once we get that information from the quantitative study, we will be able to generate that specific question for the students. Now, question number 3 and 8, assess instructional method. Question number 4, measure the level of students' engagement. And question number 5, evaluates the classroom environment and support. So overall, all these 10 questions will provide a better picture of what's happening in the classroom. What is the environment the student has been exposed, and then we can determine why that environment has fostered students' understandings on those specific concepts. And then question 6 to 7, assess student self-confidence regarding the mathematical knowledge. And question number 10 provides an open-ended prompt for additional feedback. So pretty much the last question is for the students to provide, right, a rationale of what's happening in the classroom. Now, what is the limitations of the mixed method research? One of the limitations of the mixed method study is that the data analysis come from one school district in South Texas. And as we know, there are approximately 1,200 school districts in Texas, including 38 in South Texas. Therefore, the finding may not be generalizable to other districts, or they might be not applicable to other districts across the states. A second limitation is that the survey sample was small, consisting of only 6 students, all from the same cohorts. What is one of the strengths of the mixed method research? And this is the part that I would like, that I'm gonna conclude, right, my presentations. But one of the strengths is that it's of this study is the significant sampling from the quantitative analysis. So it includes all the students from one school district, yes, but it's encompassing 4 different middle schools and 9 different teachers for a total of 834 students. So this is a very good sampling that we are getting. Now, this comprehensive data set enhances the students' reliability across different group of students. Because again, we're using not just one teacher, we're using 9 different teachers. Now, finally, another strength of this mixed method study is the ability to provide additional insights into the student's perspective on certain mathematical topics through taught in 6th grades. And this is because, as we mentioned before, we're going to use the quantitative data first to identify the core standards, but then the qualitative data is going to help us understand what is the student perspective. And also at the same time, we can evaluate the student, the classroom's environments. All right. So this is pretty much my presentation. Thank you very much. Bye-bye. Have a good day.